Hey everybody, Carm here. I hope you're all doing well. Doing pretty good here. You all had a nice end of the month and holidays. Pretty nice here, and my month ended quite well last night coming home from work. Or I got home from work and found I got some more VCLT from Andrew Turntablist. I was kind of expecting this, and I know he probably doesn't want me to make a big deal of it, but of course I want to acknowledge it, and I very much appreciate this. I guess he had some records that he already had in another format or doubles of, and just wanted me to have, and it's quite a stack here. Quite impressive, and really a variety of music. Most of these I didn't already have, so and a lot of these I haven't heard before, and even as well as not having. So I'll just quickly go through them, and since there's not a lot I could say about them yet, not having heard many of them, so I'll just jump right in with them. Shared Visions, Steve Halpern and David Friesen, keyboard and bass duet. I'm a fan of both artists, although didn't have this one before, so this is a nice surprise. Kind of like a jazz new age combination, I would think. Gong, Espresso 2. Surprisingly, I never had any of their music in my collection up until now, so this will be. I'm sure I'll enjoy this. I've always been a fan of Steve Hillage, his solo work, and Alan Holdsworth I see is on here, who's an old favorite, so look forward to this. The Pleasures of the Royal Courts, the early music consort of London. Appears to be music that was from around, well, before the 1500s. Medieval music, harpsichord, recorders, so yeah, this should be fun. What little music of this period I've heard, I really do enjoy. So, I look forward to this. Klaus Ogerman Orchestra, Gate of Dreams. It's a name I've heard for quite a long time, but never really delved into his music. I think it's like a jazz, kind of a jazz fusion, maybe classical hybrid. So I'll find out for myself soon. But, it should be nice. Really nice cover too. Like looks like it could be Arizona, Southwest in general, which is a place I've gone to for a long time. Dave Holland, Bar Phillips, Music from Two Basses. Had this one on CD. It's a classic, from two masters of the instrument. It's early ECM. I really like the little post-it on here. Accept me as your all-knowing and powerful ruler, and nobody gets hurt. From the cat. Appreciate that as a cat lover. I'd like to know where you got that. It's pretty cool. Michael Manring, Towards the Center of the Night. Fantastic bass guitarist. This is on the Windham Hill label. I have a few of his. I might have this one on CD. I'd have to check. You get so many. I'm not quite sure. But I look forward to hearing this again. If I have heard it before. I love the cover too. Beautiful sunset. So always look forward to him. David Darling, Cycles, an old favorite of mine as an artist and as an album. I had this one on CD. It's like a who's who of ECM people. Colin Walcott, Jan Gabarek, Errol Anderson. So yeah, really nice to have this in any format. It's just a beautiful, quite melancholy album. And, I always loved this cover too. Just a lone figure with her back to the camera. This is the only one on the stack I actually had on vinyl already, but I've been getting into his music lately. Ryuki Sakamoto. I actually got this originally for one song. It was Before Long. Beautiful, much too short solo piano piece. So he's someone I'm definitely looking more into. David Bowie, Spiders from Mars, Ziggy Stardust. I actually have been getting into Bowie more lately. Have his Next Day album. I bought that this past summer. This is a period I haven't listened to much of in his music, so I definitely look forward to this from early 70s. And surprised I didn't already have this album in my collection, Heroes. It came right after Low, which is my all-time favorite of his, being that Eno's on there. It's fantastic synthesizer music. As those of you who've heard it already know, of course, side 2 particularly. Robert Fripp's already is as well as on here, and Carlos Alomar also on guitar. So looking quite forward to hearing this. And aforementioned Alan Holdsworth, probably one of my favorite all-time electric guitarists. I mean, he's so original, and I don't think anyone else sounds like him. And I think in some ways underrated, really. Look forward to hearing this. This looks like a lot of trio stuff. Guitar, bass, drums, which I really like that format in general. This is a group that Steel Eye Span, Below the Salt. I've heard the name for such a long time, and I'm sure I've heard their music, but haven't put 2 and 2 together. So I look forward to hearing this. Really have no idea what it sounds like from just seeing it. See the lyrics in there. So yeah, this should be interesting to hear. This looks really neat. New music for organ. William Albright on organ. There's pieces by William Balcom, who I'm trying to place that name. I know that name from somewhere. And Sidney Hodgkinson on percussion. Also electronic tape. So it appears a new music, avant-garde classical. So I look forward to this. Sounds like a nice combination, organ and electric tape and percussion. And finally, this wonderful stack. Herb Ellis and Charlie Bird, Guitar. I'm not familiar with Herb Ellis really, but Charlie Bird, I have an album or 2 of his. I actually had a cat years ago under the same name, Charlie Bird. It reminds me of that. Really nice. From what I've heard of Charlie Bird, I really like his music, and I'm sure I'll like this. Guitar duets. I like instrumental duets in general. So look forward to hearing this. So again, Andrew, thank you for this. I think this listening will last me probably through New Year's. So yeah, just really nice stuff, it appears. And like I said, David Bowie, I've been getting into him more recently, so this is comes at a perfect time as well as everything else. Before I forget, the thing that's playing right now, this is off. I taped this off the radio back around 1990. It's a show called Musical Starstreams. Probably responsible for everything I've gotten into since then, whether it's jazz or new age or avant-garde, classical, experimental, whatever. It all stems from this show. Very eclectic mix of music. It's still on. It's you can find that mostly on the internet. Just look up starstreams.com. It's more of a electronic. They call it ambient dub. The format it is nowadays. It's a little quite different than what it was back then. But that's what's playing right now. And real quick before I forget, Rob Paniques was asking. Hey Rob. I had commented on his recent video. He showed Terry Ripdahl's Waves album, and was asking me what I would recommend after that. And I definitely want to do a video on Terry Ripdahl in general. He's he's one of my favorites of. I was mentioning guitar before, and ECM in general. And I'd actually been listening to this anyway recently. Descendra. This wasn't right after Waves. This is, I think, 2 albums after Waves from 1979. I believe it's the same lineup that's on Waves, except like Sveinen Hossenfo on bass is not on this album, so it's just a trio album. Yeah, Paul Mickeborg and John Christensen. Yeah, so I'd recommend this one, coming after Waves. It's probably more brooding and melancholy, but I'm definitely going to do a video and elaborate on that more. So, thank you for that question, Rob. I look forward to that. He's someone I definitely want to, just talk about more in general. And ECM as a label, I want to go into that more. So I have the record too, but I just been listening to the CD for convenience. So I feel like I'm forgetting something, but should have happens with a lot of us with the videos. So well, again, thank you, Andrew, for this VCLT. This is really nice, and thank you all for watching. And a few new subscribers I see, and yeah, just hope you're all doing well, and happy and safe into the holiday season. So until next time, peace, love, enjoying life.